Okay, so I know I said my next video was going to be on one of my favorite animation techniques, but I just really had to talk about this. Wow, so Mob Psycho 100 Season 3 has been pretty solid since the first episode in my opinion, but this latest episode was just, I don't even know how to word it properly. It was very unexpected. So for the people who don't remember, first of all, but I'll give you a quick recap. So Tsubomi, the girl that Mob has liked since Season 1, is moving, so Mob decides to finally tell her how he feels, until while he's waiting to cross the street, a driver wasn't paying attention and almost hit a child. And so Mob jumped in the way, but got hit by the car. Just that scene alone was pretty crazy, and something that I never really expected from a series like Mob, and with what was currently happening. And Mob started to bleed, like, a lot, and he was not moving. He was basically dead. Until...
something just snapped! Something inside of me!
Everything around him just started going crazy. Electronics weren't working, the ground was shaking, all sorts of things like that. And then, all of a sudden, the floor just started breaking where Mob was. Like a huge crater came out of nowhere, and he just exploded with power as if he went like 100% or even question mark mode. And I'm not sure if it's the sudden being hit by a car which triggered specific emotions or something, or maybe it's because of the thought of being rejected by Tsubomi, all that negativity, but he is just going absolutely berserk right now. Mob, with each step, is making the ground tremble. He's destroying his entire city, and even hurting a lot of people around him without even realizing it. He's causing so much fear, while still holding onto the bouquet he bought for Tsubomi, and still trying to get to him and Tsubomi's meeting spot, which was the park, if I'm not wrong. It's like he's subconsciously doing all this bad stuff, and still trying to get to his goal. It's bonkers. And while this is happening, obviously, people are trying to evacuate because everybody is calling it this earthquake, because that's what it feels like. There's this giant earthquake thing going on, this natural disaster. But luckily, Teru drops in, and he tries talking Mob out of it, similar to their fight in Season 1, which, I really like the parallels between this episode and their first interaction. I recognize a lot of that. Except in this episode, we really get to see how much Teru has grown as a character by trying to stop Mob because they're friends, even though he knows that if he can't stop him, there's no chance of beating him in a fight. He just wants to help him. This episode, for Mob Psycho 100 standards, has been pretty dang scary, because usually we see Mob go crazy for a couple of minutes, and then he usually snaps out of it, like randomly, or maybe Reagan is there to help him. But absolutely nothing is working. He's a literal embodiment of destruction right now, and witnessing that is just insane. This episode was so emotional because of how much of a drastic change happened so suddenly. Like, Mob is literally almost killing people, which was personally one of my favorite scenes because we got to see Teru get back up, use his powers to save the people he's almost killing. And we had that whole "you're still my rival" thing, and it was so hyped because we haven't seen something like that for a long time, and it just showed that Teru is a real bro for Mob, doing whatever he can to stop him, and even understanding that Mob isn't doing anything on purpose. Even when Mob's energy is so powerful that it's destroying Teru's body, as we saw he was bleeding from just the sheer power that Mob was emitting. He was bleeding from his nose, even his eyes too, if I'm not wrong. He will do his best to help his friend. God, this episode was like, again, I don't know how to describe it. It's like being on an underwater roller coaster that caught on fire. That might just be the dumbest thing I've ever said on this channel. My point is that this episode was absolutely insane, and that wasn't even the best part. The whole Teru scene? Nah. The choreography, the Sakuga, the animation, very close. This episode was super clean, but Not only did we get to see the mini bad guy from Season 1, the telekinetic Helix guy, not only did we see the sword guy, who was using like little tongs instead of a sword this time, which is pretty funny. Not only are we seeing so many espers from previous seasons, we cut to a military vehicle with inmates in them, right? And they're tasked with taking care of Mob, kind of like the Suicide Squad. And yeah, all right, this is pretty cool, I guess. We get to hold on. Is that Eminem from Season 2? But then we get the best plot twist to ever be presented.
This mission is no joke. I'll have to go on my own.
The boss from Season 2 is back. He destroys the other inmates one by one like it's nothing. Because this fight is personal. He opens the little door from the military vehicle, and they're supposed to drop in with parachutes, right? They're supposed to land in carefully into the city. What does he do? He is so dang cool. I'm not even reading my notes anymore. He is so cool. He just like jumps, like his Fortnite, jumps out of the battle bus, no glider, no parachute, just drops in. And it is the most epic thing. It's like that scene from Deadpool where he's like, oh, he's gonna do a superhero landing. He's doing a super villain landing. My god, this was such a great episode, and I can't wait for the next one. Because we all know that I love the shadowy, evil-looking transformations, like Gone from Hunter x Hunter. And Mob, as usual, did not disappoint. But that's pretty much all I have to say for today, though, I think. There's not really much that I can think of saying besides that this episode was just amazing. It looked, sounded, and felt fantastic. But yeah, that's it for today, though. I just really wanted to talk about this because it is way too hype, and I cannot wait to see the boss square up with Mob again. I hope you all enjoyed, though, and check out more horns because I'm going to be making some video game story mode playthroughs soon. But yeah, that's it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.